3 p.m. and it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. That's me. You can read it right here. So happy to have you joining me. Everybody joins every day at 3 o'clock. They can count on me to be here. And we'll just give it a few minutes for them to join in. Today we're going to be cooking salmon. And I've got a great and fun recipe with a few tricks in case you might be out of a few things in your kitchen. And I'll be sharing those with you in just a minute. But before I do, I want to talk about the farm that I get some of my produce from. So this got delivered today. It comes every Tuesday. It comes from Desert Bloom Farm, and unfortunately I didn't leave myself any room. Hello there, who is here? Sending hearts and thumbs up already. Oh, Heather is watching. Thank you, Heather. Thank you for joining. Heather got the eggplant parmesan from last night. She came over today to grab it. Lucky her, because Nanny Bubby could not eat that whole thing herself, and my husband and my son were on a little bit of a fasting, being careful, working out kind of thing, and that eggplant parmesan was meant to serve about 8 people. So, hey Arlene Blute, there you are. Give me a thumbs up. So good to see you. Who else is here? Let's see. They haven't shown up yet. But what I was talking about just now, let me just leave myself some room, is the farm called Desert Bloom Farms. And so let me tell you exactly where they are. This is what I got. I haven't even looked inside yet to see what they delivered. Let me move this just a little bit. Okay, how's that? That's a little bit better for me anyway. And this is, they're called Desert Bloom Farms. And what you do is if you live in Las Vegas and you're on your way to Pahrump, you go the Pahrump route. And about 15 minutes before you get to Pahrump, there's a little dirt road on the left-hand side of the road. So if you're going north, it would be to the west. And you go down that dirt road for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then all of a sudden this farm appears. Now here's the thing. Somewhere on that 5 to 7 minute dirt road, the state turns from Nevada to California. There's no welcome to California sign. There's nothing. It just is suddenly you're in California. And how do you know? Because the address for the farm is California. And it's interesting to me because I think to myself, if they had just moved to the other side of that line, they might pay less taxes. I don't know. I would like to have her on as a guest and interview her, especially when we get close to doing our seed starting class, which will be sometime in January, and just a class right here on Live with Nanny Bubby. And we'll talk to her about why she chose California and the tax difference between California. It could be that California gives tax credits to farmers. I'm just not sure. But every Tuesday they deliver this box. It's like a file box right here. And let's look inside before we start making our salmon, because everybody's tuning in, and see what they brought. So this is their Desert Bloom salad mix, which is great. I'll use this, and I go outside and grab my own kale and my own red lettuce and my own romaine and butter lettuce. And when that gets all clipped down, at least I have a bag that gets delivered so I can still make salad. These are great. These are onions. They're red onions. Isn't that fabulous? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And I think I'm going to grill these, and I'll show you that sometime in the week on how to do that. Then they've got some herbs, which are meant for everybody else they deliver to except me, because I've got my own. And arugula right here. Here is the great thing. These are eggs that come right off their chickens. And I want to tell you that when we were there, my sister loved those chickens, so she held the chickens. Here, they come in different colors. Every once in a while I get a green egg, a brown egg, a white egg. And I said, wow, what is the difference between, you know, the green egg and the white egg, and what does it all mean? And they simply said it's just the chicken. Some chickens lay green, some lay blue, some lay brown, some lay white. So there's that. Here's the ugly carrots. Love these. I'm sure she'd hate it if she knew I called them ugly carrots. And here are those beautiful white radishes that we grill. So we should grill up a platter of these white radishes and the onions, these fabulous onions. Whoop, I'm dropping all over the place here. Sometime this week for all of you. And then they send some dry basil. So that's what came in this week's box. Hi, Jordan. Nice to have you here. Jordan Coffer is here. So happy to have you. Again, this farm is Desert Bloom Farms. Hey, Lindsay Bernay. How are you? Nice to have you here watching from New York. She's one of my favorite New York viewers. Thank you for being here. And, oh, I lost my train of thought. I got so excited to see Lindsay tuning in. But we're going to grill that up, and whatever I was saying about the farm. Oh, I was going to tell you about the CSA. So the CSA is that it stands for Community Supported Agriculture, and there's CSAs all over the country, but sadly there is no agriculture in Las Vegas. And in fact, what few farms we had here converted over to cannabis farms, of course, because, you know, cannabis, we're #1 in the world for growing it now or distributing it here. So those farms all converted over. So this is our only CSA, Community Supported Agriculture, which means we all pay one fee together so that they can deliver to us, and then we share that expense, and we share the expense of what all of this costs. So if you, I know Lindsay made it, so if you can find a CSA near where you live, I know they have tons of them in New York, it'll make you really happy. They're always organic, the best. This was picked yesterday and delivered today, so it's really, really great. Okay, so let me move this off, and let me tell you what we're making today. I'm going to start heating this pan now that everybody has started joining in. Hey, Debbie Howell, joining us from Cancun again. Love that. Love that we've got a Cancun viewer. So what we're making today is salmon, and the salmon is going to be grilled crispy only halfway through and then baked off in the oven. So let me show you how to start. We're going to turn this on. Would be #1. And we're going to turn this on medium high. And so as it's in medium high, what is it that I always say? Hey, Kelly Marshall, thanks for being here. Hey, Brenda Mills, you too. Wow, I just love that everybody's tuning in and we're all getting warmed up, and now we're going to start cooking. So this is a cast iron pan. Can you see that? Two things about a cast iron pan. Everything you make in a cast iron pan is just amazing. The second thing is never wash it with soap. Ever, ever, ever. I wash mine with hot water and a steel wool pad, and if it smells because I've cooked garlic or onion and it's really pungent, then I will put baking soda in it and use the baking soda to scour it and get the smell out. But beyond that, that's it. Look how beautiful and hot this pan is. Okay, so now, what do I always say? If you're going to use a high heat, and at some point we're going to let this get good and high, if it's higher than 375, then don't use olive oil because it releases toxins, but you want to use avocado oil. And this is my chosen avocado oil. It's my favorite. It's my go-to, but if you can't find chosen, any avocado oil will do. And I only spray a little bit, and I take the paper towel once it's on there, and I just wipe it, just so that it's covered. So you can see that it's got kind of a slick surface. Because what happens is cast iron pulls out all the fats, and it's really great. So I take that, and now we're going to come over here after we use the avocado, and we're going to blot our salmon. So this salmon is always watery whenever you take it out of the package, no matter what salmon you have, if it's frozen and defrosted. And you want to get all the water out of it. You want to get all the ocean out of that salmon. I've blotted this a few times, even before you got here. And then I'm going to just take a little bit of, well, I'm going to actually, it's easier to spray, so I'm just going to spray a little bit. And this is only being sprayed so that the salt and pepper adhere to the salmon. Now the question is, do you wash the salmon and then blot it, or do you just blot it without washing it? And the answer is, and I asked my fishmonger that question, and he said never wash your fish because it adds water to the fish, and then it becomes too watery and it never cooks well. And it certainly won't crisp up in a cast iron pan. So he says never wash it and just blot it dry. Make sure it's defrosted really well and blot it dry. I feel differently about a chicken. I always wash my chicken, and in fact I spray the food grade hydrogen peroxide on in the inner parts of my salmon and let it sit for a while, and then rinse it through, and then blot that dry, especially the skin, before cooking that. So those are the rules, my friends. Same with beef. I don't wash that. I blot it dry so it gets crispy. Okay, So we are simply going to take the salt and pepper and we are going to turn it meat side down, skin side up. You hear that? Can you hear it? Let me get close so you can hear it through my iPods. Okay, if you can hear it sizzling away. The smoke got right in my right up my throat. If you can hear it, hit me with a heart. Let me see a bunch of hearts come popping through so I know you can hear it sizzling. Okay, so the key to this right now is we are going to let it sizzle and saute. There we go. We've got hearts, we've got all kinds of things for about 3 minutes. There we go. Let's set this timer. And I'm going to turn it down just one little bit, and we are not going to touch it. The key to this is that if you start trying to move it, it doesn't get crispy, and it doesn't, it just doesn't get the right crispiness on the top that you would want. And as you look down, let me see if I can get this for you without getting smoke down my throat. If you can see that, you can see that it's starting to turn pink as it cooks up. So let me get a fish spatula, which I love. I'm going to go to such a thing. It's long. And as soon as that timer goes off, we'll turn it. But before we do, we are going to take some salt and pepper, and believe it or not, we're just going to salt and pepper the skin. Just because it goes right through to the other side, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're pre-cooking this, because obviously I'm not going to cook the whole thing now, because I have a husband to feed around 6 o'clock. But the really good news is that if you want to pre-cook for your family, this is a way to do it. You kind of stop the cooking right in between. We're going to use this cast iron pan to cook the whole thing. It's going to go right from this into the oven, which is awesome. And pretty soon when that, oh, it's not even, I didn't even get it to go. What a shame. There we go. I turned it wrong, but it'll go off. I restarted it. Hey, Susan Thomas, so nice to have you here. This is great. Got a whole family of people that are out there that are tuning in today, and that just makes my heart sing. While we're waiting for this to cook up and waiting for the timer to go off, I just want to say, I show up here every day. And I don't show up for myself, because obviously I already know what I'm doing. But I really show up for you. And if it's not for you, I'm showing up for somebody that you know that you could share this video with or share on your timeline. I'm not here for myself. There are so many people that are out there that truly want to eat healthier, that are home more than they've ever been. They've always wanted to have the time to cook, and they're not sure what to do or how to do. My generation, there was home economics, so the basics were given to us in school, but for so many of you, that was not available, and now you're home, and you're with your families, and you just want to do a better job. You want that portrait of the perfect family coming into the kitchen and having memories in the kitchen. There you go, there's the timer. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you meet that image, that vision of how you see yourself. So whether it's for you or whether it's for somebody you know, then by all means share the video. So if you take a look, hey Tom Gallagher, hey Teresa. Teresa was in my home economics classes, I remember it. Okay, so there you go. You can see that it's very crispy and brown on the outside. So let me take this. See, together we can spread love like butter. Okay, now Marla, Nanny Bubby. Whoop. And there you go. So there is that crispy top. How does that look? So, we love that. Okay, so now we're going to let that go for another 2 minutes. And as it does, I'm going to show you the sauce that I'm going to make. And I think you're really going to love it. And I have a trick. Oh, Tom loves salmon. Good for you, Tom. Okay. There we go. All right. How many of you eat fish? Give me a 1 if you eat fish. Hit me with a 1, everybody. Oh, that's great. Okay, tell me. Give me a 1. There you go. Okay, there you go. It is easy. It is easy. It's not easy like going through a drive-through, but there's an ease to it. And when you know what you're doing, there's a one. Thank you so much. When you know what you're doing, there's another one. So everybody loves fish. Now, if you don't like fish, give me a 2, which I know is my sister Heather, who is tuning in right now. She hates fish. She'll eat a little salmon. There we go. Okay. So cooking fish is not going to mean that you guys are going to go away and go tune in with someone else. That was a telemarketing call. Pardon me for the interruption. Because I'm on my iPhone. So this is what we're going to do. Oh, there we go. Don't you love that? School's out. I always say that. I have to say that when that bell rings. Okay, so I'm turning this off. Now that is pre-cooked, right? And what I'm going to do with it is about 10 minutes before we sit down to eat, I'm going to preheat my oven to 425 degrees, and I'm going to put this sauce on it, and I'm going to throw it in that oven for about 5 minutes. That's it. And this salmon is going to come out beautiful, medium rare. Or medium, whichever way you like it. But before we do that, let's make the sauce. Yep, Heather hit a 2. She hates fish. Okay, it's really good. If I don't want to invite Heather to dinner, I make fish and then we're good. That's so funny. Okay. Hi, Roland DeRozier. Yes. Richard or Roland? Roland DeRozier. Okay. All right. I try to keep up with conversations, cook, and do camera all at the same time. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to add rosemary and thyme. So again, the way that you add the rosemary, this is right out of Nanny Bubby's garden. Colette is here. Hello, my darling, beautiful, sweet, loving Colette. Colette's dog just had surgery, I find out from her Instagram page, and she gave a good update. So, you know, we all know each other in such a beautiful virtual way. And we're building a community, which is why I say if you know anybody who truly has expressed that they want to learn, that they want to do better in the kitchen, that they want to spread love like butter, but they don't know how to start, then reach out, use this video to share, and invite them to join our community, because we're all here for each other. And honestly, think about the things that you have given to me, and the ideas and all the things that you have done for me. And I show up here for you because you have all come to mean so much to me. And I love you for that. I really do. And it makes it so easy to spread love like butter when you are all out there. So beautiful. So here's what I've done is I've taken all these leaves, about a tablespoon or so off, and I'm putting them into this little tiny mini food processor. And I'm going to take this garlic, you can see, put that into the mini food processor. Now this piece is a little bit more difficult because it's thyme. You can't even see it, it's so small. But to get these thyme leaves off, you got to be really good at peeling them back. And I have to say, sometimes I'm great, and sometimes I am terrible. Sometimes I am terrible. So, have I told any of you that Lindsay Bernay is one of the top personal shoppers in the world? She is one of the best, top of the line people that you can ever turn to for when it comes to growing the best part of what is in you or what is out of you. And I am so proud to always have her join us. She's in New York, and I love, and she has brought so many of her friends and posted so many beautiful things on her page and in a mom's group that she's in, which I so appreciate. She's amazing. Yes, I know. Top of her game. I mean, if you ever wanted to be in fashion, her game is the top. It is the top. Okay, so I'm continuing to peel this time. See, that's the great thing about our community and who we are and what we do, is that we all get to know each other. I tell you a little bit about everybody. Colette's dog, my sister being in Cancun, and at the end of the day, most of us are just friends and online and have become to be a part of each other's lives through that venue, which I think about how wonderful. I was just talking about going to my cousin's funeral. 98 people joined on Zoom on Sunday, and I just thought, what an amazing thing that is, that we would be able to do that, especially in these times. Zoom came about right at the right time of life. I mean, you would have think they would have known that COVID was coming. And we all should have bought stock in Zoom, right? Okay, I'm putting about a full teaspoon of thyme leaves. Sorry for the monotony of doing this, and I keep talking as I do it, but we're getting there, right? And I'm taking this off. Okay, now, are you still with me? If you're still with me, hey, Jennifer Tuttle, so nice to see you. If you're still with me, just give me a 1, because what happens is I see a bunch of people coming on, but it doesn't tell me who's off. And so we will get more people on if you guys all give me a 3. Okay, in the chat, everybody type a 3 so I know who's here and who's not. Because I want to go on to the next step, but I need to talk directly to you. Okay, Shoshana is here. Hey, Shoshana, you are brand new. Okay, hit with a 1, a 2, a 3. Anything that's easy for you to get to. Tom Gallagher follows directions. Okay, Susan Thomas, there you go. Okay, and see, more people are tuning in. There you go. Now Heather's following directions. This is great. Okay, so we've got garlic, rosemary, thyme. Okay, oh my God, everybody's there. Okay, Teresa, there you go. All right, Colette, there we go. Love you guys. Okay, now we're gonna put in 1 tablespoon. I'm gonna do a tablespoon and a half because I've got a lot of salmon there. 1 tablespoon of olive oil right into this mini fruit processor. There we go. I actually did 2. Now, who knows the answer to this question? I'm testing you now. I am the home ec teacher. I've given you this tip. So I need to see how many of you remember that. This recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of wine. Now, I am not opening up a bottle of white wine right now to put in 1 tablespoon into this recipe. That seems ridiculous to me. And because it's just a Tuesday night, we're not drinking wine. We are big wine drinkers. Well, we've got something to celebrate and yahoo about and a holiday and all that. So there's that. But we are not opening a bottle of wine on Tuesday night. Teresa, got it, yes. So you can substitute dry vermouth. I love that. You guys are listening, you're learning, or maybe Teresa knew that before. But there is the dry vermouth. There you go. And so I'm going to put in about a tablespoon and a half of dry vermouth. Okay, if I can get it open. There we go. Okay. Oh my God, I love being here with you guys. Well, that was a splash and a half. Okay. And can I tell you, dry vermouth has got the best scent to it. It really is. It makes me want to drink the whole bottle, but I get sick. Okay, there you go. Teresa was correct. All right, I'll close that a little bit later. Now, I have a dilemma. This sauce calls for 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. I always use the Organicville over at Whole Foods. I love that brand. Tastes so good. I like Grey Poupon too. What else could I do? Out on my thumb. Okay, there we go, about 2 tablespoons. Okay. Now, it calls for 2 more tablespoons of coarse ground mustard. And I can't remember what I made on Monday. What was it? Well, it was the eggplant parmesan, but it must have been something over the weekend that I made. And I used up all the coarse ground mustard, and I didn't realize it. So I'm thinking to myself, what am I going to do? I'm going to teach you guys how to cook. And I thought, you know what? I have a problem. So let me tell you about being in the kitchen. You always have a problem in the kitchen, but it's just like life. It's for you to solve it. So how am I best going to solve that I have a problem in the kitchen? And what's the problem? I don't have any coarse ground mustard. Now I'm going to take a lucky shot at this, and what I'm going to do, it called for 2 tablespoons. I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of regular Dijon mustard, okay? That's a substitute, but it's calling for coarse ground. So what do you think I'm going to do? Who can tell me what you think I'm going to do to make this a little bit coarse ground? Anybody got an idea? Think about my Brussels sprouts that I made for Thanksgiving. Anybody with an idea? Anybody? Quick? Quick? Solve the problem? How would you solve it? What would you do? I know you guys are there. Come on. Give me an idea. I'll wait. I'm waiting for it. Anybody? Oh my God. Dead air. I can't do it. Okay. Just take a lucky guess. Anybody? No? You're all so quiet. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, nope, Tom Gallagher says no. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I have this mustard seed that I make my Brussels sprouts for Thanksgiving with. And I thought, this is what makes Dijon mustard. There you go. Hey, Jennifer Mallinger, Dr. Mallinger, my eye doctor. Nice to have you here. Yep. She said it, mustard seed. There you go. So I'm going to put in about a half of a tablespoon. There you go. See, she's a good ophthalmologist, and a great cook too. Okay, there you go. Let me get this coarse ground mustard in. Okay, now let me put in just a little bit of salt. There we go. I love when I see all of you tuning in. I love it. I love it because the more that we join each other in this community, the more we can spread love like butter to our family, to our friends, to our community. I mean, that is the best thing. That is the best thing. Okay, so we're going to put the top on. Aha. There we go. Putting the top on. And, okay, you won't be able to hear me because I'm going to grind this all up. Here we go. There's garlic, rosemary, thyme, Dijon mustard, more Dijon mustard, some mustard seed, and garlic. Okay. You should smell that. Hey, Kathleen Bowman, how are you? Nice to see you here. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh, let me show you what this looks like. Now, my sister gives me the greatest kitchen tools, which is so funny because she really doesn't cook all that much. She really doesn't. But she certainly loves kitchen tools. And in fact, this burner came from her. The pots that work on this burner came from her. This little handy dandy jar spatula, which is what this is. And then this is like a serrated end for the same thing. And I will say this. If somebody doesn't cook, but for some reason they love kitchen tools, then there's something in their soul that wants to cook. And I highly suggest that you look at that and investigate what you can do. So let's take this out. Let me move you over here with me. Because you know what? It is very innate for all of us to cook. I mean, how do you think we've survived millions of years on the planet? We eat, we gather, we eat. And gathering has a different meaning when you're a caveman. It means gathering seeds, gathering fruits, hunting. This is all part of life. Going through a drive-through is not a part of life before 1945 or whenever it was. Okay, so here we go. Listen, every once in a while, everyone goes through the drive-through. And my favorite drive-through is actually In-N-Out Burger. I mean, I am a fiend for In-N-Out Burger. But not on a daily basis and not even on a weekly basis. On maybe once every month or so, or one time we were driving to California a couple months ago, and we left later than we wanted to, and we were starving, and we ended up in Barstow, and I said, oh my God, I'm starved, please, can we drive through In-N-Out Burger? And we did, and I loved every minute of it. But here's one thing about In-N-Out Burger. Have you ever noticed that if you walk inside an In-N-Out Burger and everybody is eating, which they are, nobody's talking. Nobody is talking. Everybody is just savoring every bite of their In-N-Out Burger. I mean, think about that next time you go inside In-N-Out Burger. And if you're not going inside, because I'm not sure anybody's going inside anywhere right now, but if you are eating at home, watch what happens. Discussion stops. Everybody just starts eating and savoring the In-N-Out Burger. When we were eating it in the car, when we were driving through Barstow, all of a sudden, and my husband never stops talking, all of a sudden, he stopped talking. We all stopped talking, and we just started eating. It's amazing, which tells me that it is so good and is so there for your taste buds for all the right reasons that why wouldn't you eat that? Okay, that's just a little Nanny Bubby philosophy about how much I love In-N-Out Burger. Okay. So now we're going to take this. Am I getting a little carried away here? Don't you love that about me? Like, I put so much love and passion. Like, if I eat chocolate cake and I love chocolate cake, I want you to love it too. I got to tell everybody I know about the best donuts or the best chocolate cake. And oh, by the way, how about these mustard seeds are showing up here? And this looks coarse ground to me. How about that? How about that? I think it worked, everybody. Okay. So, again, 425 degrees for about 5 to 7 minutes so it can finish cooking. I'm just going to cover it right now and keep it room temperature until about 6 o'clock when I'm going to get ready. I'll use a little bit of this on the side for dipping or adding to it. And when you stick it in a 425 degree oven, what's going to happen is it is going to crispy up even more than that. When you serve it, and this is for those of you who think that you can't do anything beautiful, you're going to just take a piece of rosemary and just lay it right on the top and serve it like that. So easy. Can you guys see that? Look at that. Lindsay, look how easy that is. Look at that. You just add a little green. Like, you're great with color, my friends. So just think about what you can add. This is an accessory. This is a bracelet. This is a scarf. Think about it. Food is like when you get dressed. Just add a little, you know, this is your stacked bracelets. There you go. That's what the rosemary laying on top is. And if you didn't have the rosemary, use a little bit of thyme, right? That's what it is. You could put parsley, you could do anything. I'm going to give you one secret. Whenever you're plating anything, if you throw green around it, it just looks absolutely beautiful. So, okay, is this hot? No, I can take this and move it to the other. Accessories, exactly. This stuff is an accessory. Food is a metaphor for life, and you just have to think about it. Like, if you have trouble cooking and you're great with fashion, then look at this as how you would accessorize or what you would do to add something to a plain black dress, right? Well, it's the shoes, it's the everything. And that's what laying rosemary on top is like, putting on a stacked bracelet along with this. Okay, so now you're gonna have to hit me with a 3, a 4, or a 5. Any one of those will do. If you want to see what I cook along with this, then go ahead and put 3, 4, or 5, or we can just end now. It all is up to you. What do you feel like? Do you guys feel like continuing on and seeing the side dish I'm going to make with this, or are you done? Are you done? Oh, I have to make the sea bass. Okay, so I got a 3, have to get more, another 3. That's only 2. Can't go on for 2. There's 12 or 15 of you watching. There's a 3, there's 3, okay. Anybody else? There's 4. Anybody? I need to get at least 7. Come on, guys. If I get 7 of you that want to see the side dish, Lindsay, are you still watching? Anybody? I wonder if Lindsay went away. Too bad, because she missed the fashion metaphor. Okay, Jordan. Jordan's there. Okay, Colette. Okay, one more. Who's going to be that person? Who's going to be that person? Teresa. Okay. All right. I'll make the side dish. Ready? Heather. Okay. Here we go. So, we are big with, I'm having so much fun today. Are you guys having so much fun? Tell me you're having fun. Just put, I don't know, smiley face, right? Whatever you have to do. Okay, all right. I've got a mess here, which is so fun. Jordan put a 7. Thanks, Jordan. Okay, so Jordan's up in Idaho. I mean, Jordan, I was just talking about how we have an amazing community here, and that if you really want to, oh, hey, Katie, if you really want to join a community of people who want to do better and be healthy and cook and take the stress out of preparing for their family, then this is where we need to come. And if you have anybody in your life that you've heard say, oh, I never know what to make for dinner, or I don't know what to do, or I wish I could be better for my kids, or I wish it wasn't so stressful, then share this video with them and get them to join this community and get them to tune in every day at 3 o'clock, and let's be here for each other. I'm not here for myself. I don't need to be a star. I was one 40 years ago. 40? Oh, don't tell anybody that. I'm here for you. I am here to help all of you find love and spread love like butter in your kitchen. So, okay, ready? Let's do the side dish. This is so exciting. So, we're gonna do riced cauliflower. Where did I put it? Right here. Organic riced cauliflower. See that? Well, wait till you see what I do with it. Now, I always start off with butter. And the reason I start off with butter is because I love butter. And I'm going to tell you, for some reason, everybody's afraid to say butter. And why? And use butter. Butter is the sexiest food we eat. Do you know that? Do you want to know why it's sexy? Who knows why butter is the sexiest food we eat? I'm watching the spatula, sorry. Okay, this is the serrated side of the spatula, and I'm going to use that to cut right through this butter. Butter is the sexiest food we eat because it can be made with something sweet, something salty, just something buttery, and it melts at 98.6 degrees. So the minute that butter goes into your mouth, the minute it touches the heat of the inside of your mouth, it just starts to melt. And you can taste it, and you can feel it, and you know that that butter is there for you. And it brings on a feeling, aside from the fact that it's very good to cook with. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Years ago, somebody said fat was bad for you. So they took all the fat out of our food. And you low fat this and non-fat that and this and that and this and that. But guess what? It lost its flavor. So what did they have to do? They had to add, hey, who is that? Marty. Hey, Marty. Nice to have you here. So if they took out the fat, they had to add in flavor. And what did they add? One of two things, or both. They added sugar. And sugar is poison. It is the worst thing you can do for yourself. So anywhere you see non-fat or low fat, be suspicious because there's a ton of sugar, and there's something like 24 different words that mean sugar that they substitute the word sugar for, but trust me when I tell you it's in there, or it's filled with chemicals that'll clog your heart a hell of a lot worse than butter. Okay, off the soapbox, we're starting with butter. Tell me if you knew that. Tell me if you knew that. And not only are we putting butter in this, but we're going to add just about a tablespoon of olive oil. Okay, so did you know that? Let's see, I like butter with everything except popcorn. That's funny because I love buttery, salty popcorn, right? Okay, who else loves butter? Tell me, who loves butter? Where's my scissors? Oh my God. It must be somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. I'm going to turn it up high just to, in the interest of time for all of you. And I'm going to open up this rice cauliflower. And we're going to start cooking this. Where is that spatula? Right here. Okay. This all around. Okay. Yep, sugar is poison. In fact, how I'm going to cook this salmon, one thing I forgot to tell you, is I'm going to take this lemon and I'm going to cut this lemon into wedges, and I'm just going to brush a slight little bit of this, whoop, there you go, maple syrup on the skin, not the skin, but on the meat of the lemon, just to give it a little color and just to help combine the acid. And then I'm going to throw those into the cast iron pan, and I'm going to cook it, and they'll caramelize and gather up, so it's really good. So as this starts to cook, there it is, as this starts to cook down, let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to add 4 things to this, and then we're done. We are going to add, it's so funny because when cauliflower starts to cook, it really has a terrible smell. It's really bad. But then after it cooks down, it is delectable. And that's another reason that I put the butter in, because the butter helps with that scent. And I'm standing right over it, so I'm getting a big whiff of it. A little bit of pepper. And my favorite spice of all times. What is my favorite spice? Does anybody remember? Can somebody type that? It is, and I put it down here. Where is it? Right over here. There we go. And I'm almost out. That's how much I use this. And I'm going to salt this or spread this with the sweet paprika, which will turn this a really, really dark glazed brownish color, caramel color. Once I get all this in, I've got to stop at Sonoma and just get a little bit more of this because I'm almost out. And that would really be a problem for me. And I'm just going to saute this around as it starts to soften. And then watch this. This is my favorite way to make this cauliflower. I'm going to take these tomatoes, you see these? And I'm gonna load them. Let's see, where can I stand so that you can see me? I am going to, did I lose all you guys? You're all still there? Let me know you're there. Okay, and I'm gonna load this. All these tomatoes, all these organic heirloom tomatoes, just load this right up, squish them down, and then I'm going to take the blade and I'm going to slice right down like that. Now they're halved. You can find this on Amazon, call it a tomato slicer. There you go. You see that? See how they came down? And now I'm going to load it up some more. There you go. There we go. Don't you love that? Do you know how long it would take? Do you know how long it would take to actually slice by hand each one of these tomatoes? That's why I love this so much. Aside from the fact it's just so fun. It's just so fun to like punch them in, get them all turned down, grab the slicer, and boom, done. Okay, and I'm going to put them all in. This is a half pint or a pint. I think it's a pint of tomatoes. All these different colors go in. Do you love that? You see that? So beautiful. So now after I slice this, let me just show you how great this looks. So think about this. We've got the pink of the salmon. We've got the green that's on the tab. Oh yeah, Teresa, it's on Amazon. I found it really easy. Just call it tomato slicer. Hey, Cynthia Berman, how are you? So happy that you joined us. This is awesome. So look at this. This is the sauteed rice cauliflower, and I've got sliced tomatoes in it. There we go. And now I'm going to turn this off because, again, we're having dinner at about 6 o'clock, and but I will reheat it up and finish cooking it. But I'm going to finish slicing these tomatoes, and now you know what Nanny Bubby is cooking for dinner for my husband and my son and everybody else. And I love that you are all here. Together we are spreading love like butter. So we're getting ready to sign off. Let's see, how long was I on? 45 minutes I was here, and thank you so much for asking me to go ahead and cook the side dish. I really appreciate that. I know you're all interested, and my goal is to always be here for you. And again, I can't get this down. My hands are slippery. There we go. I don't want to slice my finger off at the bottom. There we go. Every time I slice, one flies out the top. Okay, there we go. There we go. Don't you love that? Okay. And that's it. Is that beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? So imagine that along with the salmon. Both of these get served on the same plate together. Not on the same plate, but out of what we cook them in ends up as part of the serving plates. And it's just going to be awesome. And honestly, I did all of this with you in 45 minutes. I did the whole dinner in 45 minutes. Now that is not much to ask of yourself. And that is not much for your family to ask of you. And in fact, what kid wouldn't sit right in front of you while you're slicing those tomatoes and wait for the day when they're old enough to be able to do that themselves? Where you can make a game out of slicing the tomatoes. Make a game out of, did I put too much seasoning in? Make a game out of, oh my gosh, I'm out of coarse ground mustard. What should I make? What should I do? How do I solve that problem? Cooking is a metaphor for life. It's all about solving problems. So if there's anybody you know, then by all means, share the video with them or tag them at the end of this. Have them DM me or you DM me. And let's go out and build this community and do one great thing. And I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to ask you to say it with me all together now, all 15 or 20 of us. Are you ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go out and spread love like butter. Oh, that was awesome, everybody. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.